48 hours to go. So this is probably my last word regarding the election until it's over. And that's the way it's going to be, I think, for me, unless some horrible or crazy thing happens tomorrow that would cause me to say something else prior to the actual election. Just imagine 48 hours, and hopefully it's all over, and the real work can begin. The dream of one of the men, one of the vice presidents, also will be realized, and the awesome responsibility will start to settle in. Are we going to be happy? Are we going to be mad? Are we going to be sad? Well, some are going to be sadder than others. Can't help it. They can't both win. Wish they could. Wouldn't be a bad idea in my mind if it was set up the other way around, that one of them's president and the other one vice president, and that they'd be kind of forced to respect each other's party and stop some of this foolishness of what my party can gain rather than what the country can gain. But I'm hoping that in 48 hours we can go to bed, it's all settled, no mess, no bother, be mad or glad, and the heck with it, it's over. Oh, that would be nice. You know, that's my hope. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people, these polls and talking heads keep thinking it's going to be. But I would hope that when it's over, it's over. My gosh. I think the very worst thing that could happen would be if it would be contested again. And you'd have at the very worst, a referral again to a Supreme Court that's loaded. You know, the Supreme Court, unfortunately, is no longer really about justice. It's about justice as controlled by the party that's been able to nominate the most people to the Supreme Court. Shouldn't be that way. It was never thought that it would be that way, I think, by our forefathers. I think they thought judges would be judges and not political hacks. And thank God a lot of them are judges. Sandra O'Connor was picked to be a first female. That was kind of special. But there was a lot of feeling about how conservative she was going to be, and she was conservative, just like I'm a conservative, although I'm a Democrat. She was a conservative, caring American, even though she was a Republican. She disappointed some of the hard-shelled right wing with some of her decisions, but she was a judge. She looked at the facts and did what she thought was right by law and right for America. That's a good way to do things, I think. Well, the second worst thing, I think, would be to have a mess that would end up where some governor who's strongly biased for one side or the other, strongly biased Republican or strongly biased Democrat. At least we won't have, I think, another case where you have it like it was in Florida 8 years ago, and you don't have the bias, you have the brother of a candidate deciding who really gets to be president. You can tell what I think. I think that smelled a little bit. It still smells bad to me. The third worst thing I think could happen would be that it's so close that there'd be a big rhubarb about voter intimidation by the Republicans, no doubt, and possible registration of some people that weren't entirely legal by those Democrats. Undoubtedly, there's going to be the possibility of a little bit of that. And you know what? I'll bet there's even a few Republicans that have registered some Republicans that might be just a little bit questionable about their eligibility too. But it's those Democrats that you got to watch on that sort of thing. And I suppose there might be a Democrat somewhere that'll be challenging somebody that's they think going to vote Republican as to whether they're legit. But mostly that's a Republican thing. And really big time in my home state of Arizona where there's all those Mexicans, you know. Yeah. Well, one thing about it, I have to agree with, isn't this strange, with the Time magazine that's dated November the 10th, 08, and everybody's got it to read here 2 days before the election on the 4th of November. But under one of the pictures, there's a little caption there that says, "An alternate reality," pointing out that when a person runs for president, the president candidate often involves making big promises. Being president often involves stepping back from those promises. I think President McCain, President Obama, either one's going to have to do a lot of stepping back and dealing with the mess first, causing us to tighten our belts. We may have to get so dedicated to the good of our country that we all tighten our belts and make it look almost like we're back in World War II and all the rationing and so on went on. We've got to right the ship. We can't just let our American ship sink, and it's sinking. Let's help Obama or McCain. Let's help our president rescue the sinking ship. Get it all, the leaks if it's plugged as possible, get us sailing smoother. One thing I'm sure of, we have two good men running. We're going to have a much better president than we've had the last 8 years. We're going to have a better vice president than we've had in the last 8 years. They're going to appoint a cabinet. Oh, how I hope that either one of them would dare to put some balance on there in their appointments. And I like that idea that Obama has of having a non-political, a biased board that will approve big projects. Whoa, boy, would that be good. I'm looking forward to things being better. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, our home. Sweet